start with our next session, the next panel, which is on stopping the leakages in the pay TV ecosystem. So the pay TV industry has undergone significant transformations in recent years with the rise of streaming services and changing consumer preferences. While the industry continues to adapt, one critical issue remains, and that's leakages in the pay TV ecosystem. Leakages refer to unauthorized access to pay TV content, including piracy, password sharing, and other forms of revenue loss. Stopping the leakages in the pay TV ecosystem is crucial for the industry's sustainability and continued growth. By implementing a combination of content protection measures, strict password management, legal enforcement, consumer education, and innovative pricing models, pay TV providers can mitigate the impact of piracy, unauthorized access, and revenue loss. And to discuss on this in an elaborated way, we have a lot of esteemed speakers in between us right now. So may I have the honor of firstly inviting on stage Mr. N.K. Rouse, COO, Next Digital. May I please request everyone to give him a thunderous round of applause while he comes on stage and joins us. Mr. N.K. Rouse. Welcome, sir. We have Mr. Nagesh Chhabria, promoter, MetroCast Network India. May I have the pleasure of inviting you as well on stage, Mr. Chhabria. Please put your hands together for our next esteemed panelist, Mr. Atul Saraf, Chairman and Managing Director, Sabut One Private Limited. Please welcome Mr. Atul. We have Mr. Saurya Mohanty. In the meantime, Atul joins us. Chief Operating Officer, Epic On and StreamSense. May I have the honor of inviting Mr. Saurya Mohanty on stage, please? Okay. So Mr. Atul is there. We have Mr. Padma Kumar N, Chief Operating Officer, KCCL KVBL. Please welcome Mr. N. And of course, how could I forget to invite our session chair, Mr. Karan Taurani, Senior Vice President, Elara Capital. Please welcome Mr. Taurani. May I request all of you to kindly put your hands together for all our esteemed speakers. And now the stage is all yours, Mr. Taurani.
Hi everyone, good afternoon. Welcome back after a great lunch break. So our session today is going to talk about TV industry, the issue of piracy and the issue of leakages, right? I mean, the industry already is struggling as we see the numbers, show it all. Our pay TV households are declining by close to 4% over the last 3-4 years. We are somewhere close to about 110 million pay TV households roughly. And the reason for this is very clear. A shift towards digital is real and is here to stay. And on top of this, we've got other concerns as well, right? I mean, cord-cutting trends in urban, we've got, the connected TV issue, which is there, wherein, you're going to see a shift, from the consumer from linear to connected TV. With bandwidth becoming more and more cheaper, wire broadband penetration will increase further. We've got innovation like Geo Air Fiber, and to top it all, we have this entire another concern on the piracy part, which is there, which is leakage of pay TV revenue. So I think we've got a wide variety of panelists today, right across from platforms to the MSOs and the LCOs. So we're going to discuss this at length, but the industry seems to be alarming, but we hope that, there is some kind of innovation being played over here, some kind of data wherein we can track, piracy and, kind of block it. So let me first bring in Rouse here in the conversation, just start off with you. Broadly, what's your, hi. So what's your assessment of this entire issue of piracy? I mean, what is the kind of loss the industry is looking at today in terms of the total distribution pie? And any new initiatives, say in the last 1 year, year and a half, which have been kind of implemented to arrest this loss? Yeah.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Karan, I think after lunch, it seems the mood is a bit sleepy, it looks like. First of all, you have given a shock here, 4% going down year on year. Somewhere we need to stop this churn, right? Piracy, Karan, as we were discussing in the first half, I mean, it's definitely it's come down. Piracy has come down, and in the linear side of it, I don't see much of a piracy as a problem right now. After the digitization and after NTUs, I think that piracy part has come down, and we also in the technology front, we have good regulations in place as well as good technology is there. The conditional access system is world class, DRM is world class, and also we keep auditing, the broadcasters also keeps coming in and auditing our systems. So piracy is not much of a concern, though as per industries, I mean, what we hear is still piracy in the film or in pay TV industry. Still, it's something around 20,000 crores. It's still told about. But in the pay TV front, I don't see much as a challenge right now with the sort of regulations we have in place for the cable TV sector. Definitely, there is a concern which is on the digital and the lot of illegal apps, streaming apps are there where a lot of piracy is being reported. Other than that, I don't see piracy as a challenge in the for the linear part of it. And with, as I said, with very strong regulations and where the broadcasters also can come and audit, and we have the regulator has empaneled auditors for us, and every year we have audit going on. So I don't see piracy as much of a challenge on the linear side of it. As I said, yes, the digital part of it still remains a challenge.
Yes, right. I think we have moved away from a browser-based economy to an app-based economy, and I think that is also somewhere kind of leading to piracy coming down, because we are consuming more of apps right now rather than going to websites and search for content. And in apps already there is a monetization model which is either through pay, which is ad-free, or which is through advertising. So I think that's also one of the reasons in terms of why potential piracy would have come down. But Nagesh, I would like to get your perspective here. So broadly, I mean, this is clear that piracy is not a big dent for the industry as such. But what's your perspective in terms of any innovation or any data tracking that you would have done amongst your subscribers to actually see that piracy is there or not?
Good afternoon, everyone. So I think piracy, one is through our net, where we find a lot of sites or app where we get all 4 or 5 broadcasters and important channels are seen through that. And on linear base, on our cable TV, piracy is still there, mostly in rural areas. So rural area, if you see, in every state, any state you take, Karnataka, Maharashtra, or small states, wherever you go, there are around 10 to 12 head ends or small MSOs who are running with 2,000 or 1,500 base. So when a businessman sees that, how do they survive? How does a person survive with such a small base for last 7 years, 8 years? It is only through piracy. So whenever a smaller place or a village type of area, his requirement of channels are less. So he can put a small head end, he can get taking Sun TV or Tata Sky, whatever he wants to take. He will put a legal, say 100 or 200 connections, but other things will get pirated. And this still is there. Wherever the distance is far from the main headquarters or from district headquarters, this is rampant, it goes on. And I think there are rules, as Rouse said, whatever regulations are there, broadcasters are doing the audit, that all is there. But when the numbers are so small, but numbers, when we take it all India, it should be around 3 to 4%. For rural market, where the piracy still exists, and through net whatever is going, because when I travel out of India or somewhere, if I tell my daughter or son, I want to see Star Plus, wait, Dad, 2 minutes, he'll remove one side, all 4 are there. Star Plus is there, Colors is there, whichever channel you want, it comes free of cost. How to prevent that now, cyber has to do or these other people have to do. But for linear TV, the piracy, I think broadcasters have to be more stricter, go to the end point and see that it is covered. Because otherwise, the model is not there for survival for smaller MSOs.
Right. So Padma ji, specifically talking about Kerala and the South market also in general, that is one market maybe which is not completely digitized as well, right? I mean, there are certain pockets. Firstly, if you can elaborate and say that where are the leakages there? I mean, where are we still on the old system, and what are the kind of broader number of households that will be digitized, and probably you'll see this leakage getting arrested, right? Because there would be piracy over there wherever the digital cable system is not there. And secondly, what is the situation in that market? Because that market is highly fragmented. Multiple LCOs are there over there. In fact, South is one of the most fragmented as compared to North as well. So what's your assessment of this market as compared to North? Yeah.
Hello. Thank you very much. Especially our thanks to India Television for inviting Kerala Vision Broadband as a panel member of this program. Actually, before answering his questions, I have to explain what KCCL is. Actually, KCCL is a company, we have one subsidiary company named KVBL. It is an operator company. This company is promoted by cable operators of Kerala, and this company is managed by cable operators of Kerala. So it has a unique business model. So we are distributing the channels through distributors, sub-distributors, and operators. Around 7,000 operators are there in Kerala, and out of this, around 3,000 operators are the shareholders of this company. So every decision or every strategy developed by this company will have some field pulses. That is, it is based on the real customer preference and the customer choice. That is the main advantage of this company. While in India, for the last 4 years, there is very much churn in cable TV subscribers. That is from 110 million cable TV connections, now it reduced to 65 million. Maybe some changes in the statistics. But during this time, Kerala Vision has achieved a tremendous improvement in connection base in digital cable TV. It is mainly because of our strategy in pricing and giving channel bouquet as per the taste of the customers. Moreover, we are giving a reasonable share to our operators. So they will be happy. So they will work hard to retain the customer base. Then there is no scope for piracy because people will be happy with the content, distributor will be happy with the content, and we have a good relation with the broadcasters also. So there is no issue with the broadcasters. Maybe some negotiation, maybe some problems will be there, but it will be settled soon. And because our policy is, we have to protect the interest of all stakeholders in the ecosystem. Then only we can develop. So moreover, we have started our broadband business 5 or 6 years back. Within a short span of time, we have reached the 8th highest FTTH broadband provider in India. That also operating only in Kerala. So the ISPs who are operating pan-India, they are competing with us, but by operating in Kerala alone, our operators have achieved tremendous improvement in connection base. That is, we are now more than 1 million connection we achieved in broadband. That is, 50% of our digital base have been converted into broadband. Through this, what we have done is, one side, we have retained our cable base. Not retained, we improved our cable base by providing good packages and good pricing. And on the other side, by promoting broadband, we helped our operators to provide OTT and other broadband-based services to our customers and get revenue out of that. KCCL, I think we have 4 years back, our revenue was 200 crores. Our company, both KCCL and KBBL, now it is 700 crore. You imagine the increase in the revenue while the industry is speaking about revenue loss and connection loss. It is mainly because of our company structure, that it is a model which no one can emulate because it is operators company, operators management. So as per your question, answer to your question, in protecting the content, Actually, we have done all the steps because we have a good advanced embedded cache system. We have a good SMS system. And all technique, we have this firewall to protect malwares. So there is no chance of piracy. And we are giving a correct report to the broadcasters, and there is no suppressing data. So in any way, I think as far as Kerala Vision is concerned, we are doing a good business. And another good news is that we are going to start our own OTT platform within 2 months. And that is maybe competing with Anil. We are starting our own aggregator platform to protect our operators and to sustain in the technological development of this thing. Okay.
Right, and you want to speak about the household penetration levels in South?
In Kerala, actually our total cable TV homes will be maybe 70 lakhs or something, and out of this around 35 lakhs is covered by, that is dominated by Kerala Vision. We have, I think, more than 50% of market share in cable TV, and we have more than 50% of market share in broadband also. So maybe some competitor operators also joining with the Kerala Vision due to the attraction of our customer and operator friendly policies.
Right, right. So, Atulji, I'd like to get your perspective also on this entire piracy issue and, what your company has been doing to actually curb this. And I mean, frankly, what we're getting as a viewpoint is that there is not much of an impact. And so do you differ on that view?
No, I don't differ on piracy. Piracy is happening, everybody knows about it, and it's happening from last 3 decades in cable, and now digital, it's happening
But what they're trying to mention is that the impact of piracy is more for the movie industry than for the cable industry. Do you align with that view, or you have a different view on that?
Yeah, see, as a OTT aggregator, Sabot, we are not allowing anybody to download our app if he is not able to put his telephone number. We are going B2B, we are not doing B2C. So there is one thing that our OTT partners are very secure that the piracy will not happen from our department. After that, the video also plays into the third-party app. So there is no question of getting any piracy through our app. So the protection through our app is totally done. But then too, I feel that piracy still happens in India through internet. And we have seen even Netflix today night he will put a new program. After 1 hour it is available in torrent. So because of the maybe pricing of the Netflix, the people start pirating, and we know the Indian piracy rate is also about 60%. For all the verticals, whether it is cable or DTH or whether it is digital medium.
Right. Sorry, so since you are a content owner, platform, right, in terms of making content, what is your broader assessment on piracy? I mean, obviously you do make content for both TV, digital, and the content obviously is expensive, right? So do you all also feel or rather foresee that there is a negative impact on piracy, both on linear TV and digital, if you can tell me separately? And secondly, how does one monetize content on digital in a very big manner at a large scale? So TV, we all know we have a large pay TV household, we have ARPUs over there. On digital, it's very, very fragmented. We've got platforms like YouTube, we've got multiple content platforms, different variety of content. So what is the difficulty that you face for monetizing content on digital?
Yeah, that's a very pertinent question, Karan, on that. So, first of all, we acknowledge the fact that piracy is a big menace, not only in India, but globally also. I think in APAC region itself, India leads the chart in terms of the piracy that happens. Close to around $1.5 billion is the piracy, and India leads with 700 million only. And then next is Macau, which is next to China. I think the country which has really taken it on a war footing is Singapore, is because a lot of white papers come around, every quarter, which country is doing what kind of initiative in terms of stopping piracy. So coming back to our brand and the content that we make, yes, it is a problem right now where you make a content and then next day it is out there in the internet. So I think we have a threefold approach that we have adopted, and we have seen that there has been chunkable difference in terms of stopping the piracy. The first thing is obviously taking initiatives around DRM, which sort of locks up the screen recording and other initiatives that the pirates usually do. That's the first thing. Then watermarking along with that, which sort of goes along with every content video that goes out or somebody wants to pirate or copy it. I think the second fold differentiation that we have done is that we have taken initiatives around our video URLs, which is very minimal but yet very effective, where we mask the whole video URL, and then anybody who wants to download or tries to do anything, it's very difficult to do. And the third part is that we have taken initiatives in terms of deploying agencies who also do a lot of air check and then start knocking down the content which is an unauthorized platform or anywhere in that matter across the world. So just to give you a sizable example, we had a video cam scam which we launched last month. So that is the most watched content, close to around 250 million streams we saw in terms of growth, and we have found out around 40,000 platforms carrying the pirated videos all the seasons. I mean all the episodes of the season. So we could knock down only 80-85% of that. So yes, it's on a very large scale that happens. Of course, it can't be plugged from day one 100%, but yes, it has to be a continuous effort to do. Second thing, coming back to the, and it also goes for the TV content as well, because when it is available in digital, and we are a broadcaster OTT, so the TV content every day, 4 hours of content also goes into the digital platform. So that also goes to say the volume of content that we churn out every month with the originals alone. So I think the problem remains same for the TV and digital both. I think from the monetization point of view, yes, digital has its own challenges in terms of monetization, but I think a good distribution platform can elevate the situation. It can, add on to the monetization and amortization process, where if the B2B distribution is strong, I have completed 8 years in terms of digital distribution, and I've seen that, while these consolidations in the market are happening, but I think every digital platform should put their head down and then start working on B2B integrations, because that's where the real secret sauce lies. Just to give you a reference figure, 85% of business comes from B2B business. No matter what is the size of the business, 15 to 20% is only from B2C, because B2C, you don't know what's a CAC today and what's a CAC tomorrow. So cost of acquisition keeps on fluctuating every time. So B2B gives you that cushion in terms of doing fixed fee deal, MG deals, where they also proliferate across multiple regions, distribute the content across multiple geographies, and then that's where they put their relevance across. So I think a good B2B distribution. Plus, second, I think the most important part is what does the platform stand for? I think every platform has their own USP. So, for example, many platforms have a signature content style which is only into infotainment. Some platforms are only known for action, thriller, and murder. So I think defining a content strategy is very important, because at the end of the day, the content that you are pumping out into the digital platform is going to spell out that what is your content thesis. And the third thing is that watch time. How do you respect the watch time of a user? If the user is coming to do a binge watch, whether it is 150 minutes, 200 minutes, whatever it is, are you relevant enough to take that watch time from the user and give the best of the content? So I think we should judiciously use the viewer's watch time and create content which has got long-lasting effect. It has got a good lifetime value as well. So I think making content with the right strategy, with the proper size of the content, which is basically watch time, or in terms of the length of the content, how relevant it is. I think those are the 2-3 things which are very important. So once these 2-3 things are sort of nailed, then I think every digital platform can spell their success. So this is from my take around monetization.
Right, that's a great insight. Also, in terms of between the platform and the distributors, like Nagesh and Rouse, you can add insights here. How do you all plan to come together in the industry to really protect interest of each other, right? Is there a plan to invest in some sort of a digital mechanism? I think he mentioned about some ways in terms of the way you can block content, right? So on the linear TV side, are we so technologically advanced that we can actually do something of this sort? That's one. And secondly, I mean, there are not enough penalties, right, for something like this. We don't have a proper mechanism in terms of the customer is kind of warned that you'll be penalized or you'll be getting a hefty penalty, like how it is in other emerging nations or like Singapore, right, where the things are very strict. So what's your sense on these two things?
As I said, on the linear front, what we do is end-to-end is all encrypted. So we hardly have any chances of piracy in it comes to linear. As he said, the piracy is a concern when it comes to on the digital front. Yes, there is a internet and through apps and through streaming, there is a lot of illegal sites available which are not from the country, which are based outside. So that challenge is there. Piracy is a big menace actually outside. But when it comes to linear part of it, I'm again saying there's not much of a concern. Yes, as Nagesh said, in the rural side of it, there could be some operators through local insertions, they might be doing it. But it's not a matter of matter of concern when it comes to linear part of it. Yes, we have end-to-end encrypted technologies available. The CAS and as I said, the DRMs are very safe, and also we have geofencing and geo blocks are there already in place. So like one set-top box paired to one of the head end cannot be taken to another place and you cannot run it. So we have this geofencing and blocking also available. So it's end-to-end completely. We have taken care when it comes to piracy.
And do you foresee a change in terms of the penalties behind this, so that the customer or the person is kind of refraining or scared to do this kind of a thing? You feel anything is coming in place over there?
Actually, because we are yet to educate the subscribers. Actually, there's less of education to the subscriber on the piracy front, which we need to do. A lot of effort has to go for from the regulator, from the government, to educate subscribers not to watch pirated content. Does subscribers also do come to know from where you get pirated content, but a lot of education and some sort of a consortium or all the stakeholders need to come together and work upon it. So I think that are the ways to curb piracy.
But only the education may not help, right? You need to have a very strong system for some penalties in place. Is
difficult
that
one in a country like us? It will be very difficult to penalize the subscriber. It will be a tough one. Right. And with elections around the corner, do you think, Karan, anything will happen?
Right, and sorry, also on the platform part. So, as a content creator, as a TV channel, or as a catch-up TV proposition, okay, you obviously think that digital is much better as a proposition in terms of monitoring piracy, because you are giving your content to certain platforms, and then you can actually have a control on the customers or control on the content which is being put out over there. Whether YouTube, for that matter, UGC is blocked, right? If it is pirated or if it is not suitable. So you believe digital, from a futuristic standpoint, this is a better proposition that you can actually control content?
I think yes and no, both, because it comes with the boon and bane. The boon part is, of course, the distribution is rock solid in terms of the way it compounds. Geometric progression happens. If you have a content and it is distributed logically across B2B platforms, there's a geometric progression, which I said. At the same point in time, when something is growing or distributed magnificently, there is also a problem of piracy. At the same rate, it is directly proportional, and the piracy also happens that way, because if you are from 10 platforms to 10,000 platforms, by the time already 2,000 or 3,000 platforms would have already picked it up as a pirated version of that. But yes, as I said, the challenge is still there in digital across. But the good thing is also there that we also get to know on a real-time basis which are the authorized platforms where we are streaming and which are the unauthorized platforms. That gives us the basic input as to what needs to be knocked down and what needs to be sort of whitelisted. Yes, so the technologies are in place which we implement, and that has sort of kept the piracy at bay to a large extent. But yes, distribution grows in geometric progression and piracy also grows that way. Yes, I mean, you need to invest in the tools to ensure that you're trying to control or arrest the overall piracy over a period of time. And show to show or everyday basis we see this happening. So it's a continuous affair that keeps on continuing.
So broadly, what we assess here is that piracy is not as big as impact for the linear TV side as it is for digital, because the content is more premium on the digital side. So that's why people, resort to piracy. It has been coming down. Customers have been, educated for it, but there is no way in terms of penalizing the customer for doing piracy. So those norms are still a long way to go. But just broadly, I would like to get a sense from each one of you all on the industry outlook, right? I mean, whatever shift we are seeing in terms of digital, how do basically, companies like, the MSO, LCO, how do you all basically safeguard interest in terms of your company? Is it like, offering bundle broadband is what he mentioned for raising ARPUs, or any other kind of a strategy to actually be relevant or to actually grow at this point of time where there is so much happening in digital, so many platforms, so much growth, so much of ad dollars flowing. We saw that, once Jio Cinema offered IPL free, the kind of revenue the platform generated. So how are you going to protect your interests here, and what's the future in the next 3 years? From each one of you, if I can get some kind of perspective. Yeah.
From in our company, we have launched our own, as I said last time in the PBS, that we have done an aggregation. So we are like aggregating the aggregators. That sort of an app we have already done. It's Next Play. We have also partnered with Hindustan's OTT Play. Also we have launched our own broadband, and we are doing well in that front. So we plan to retain our subscribers through a combo sort of a product. So we have devised a good product, and we want to take it forward strongly on the broadband front. So that's how we plan to take it forward. One question is on the piracy of digital. I just wanted to check. When we say that there are a lot of sites which are streaming, illegal apps and illegal content, from your perspective, is it the content owners? Like Netflix, I don't hear so much of piracy happening on Netflix, whereas we see a lot of other, content getting pirated. Even I've seen Hotstar, I've seen Sony Live, okay, but I don't see much of piracy happening on Netflix. Is the technology-wise, are we somewhere lagging behind Netflix, or what exactly is the reason?
Yeah, I mean, I'll come to the point. So you can all Google a site called as F Movies. So F Movies keeps on changing its domain site from fmovies.cab, fmovies.000, fmovies.taxi. Okay, so example I'm giving. Last 12 years it has been operating. It has got all the premium shows of Hotstar and Netflix. Yeah, so nobody for last 12 years have been able to drive that site out because it keeps on changing the domain. So what I'm trying to say is that the evolution of the content, the evolution of the digital platforms that are happening, so also the hackers and the concerned people in the piracy are also evolving with the technology. So there is a dual economy which is operating right now, and yes, it has got billions of dollars of leakage. The idea is that it is like a catch me if you can. It keeps on going, and if one site is doing, then other sites will also start doing it, and which is happening right now. Yes, I mean we have to accept that and keep on working on it, and then doing a air check and then removing it. But we can do that to some extent. But as somebody in the panel said, that the pricing is the most deciding factor why people pirate, and premium content versus normal content. The whole idea is that pricing is again a very sticky item, because if you reduce it, your ARPUs and your revenues drop. Should you increase it, obviously volume drops. But I think rather than addressing the pricing part, the most important part is that how do we stop it, and what are the initiatives we should do in terms of stopping it. I think we should emulate a lot of these countries who have already done it, or technology companies who are doing it, if not 100%, but at least some kind of change over quarter.
So that is why I was saying that who will take these kind of initiatives? I mean, from the platform side, from the content owner side, or from the distribution side, we need to take some initiatives to actually invest in these kind of technologies, wherein piracy is not just possible by anybody over there. So yeah, that is the future maybe. So yeah, Arun Kumarji, Nagesh and Padma, I'm just like, he mentioned the point of bundling, very important, which is bundling of apps which he's doing. So anything that you're doing in terms of potential innovation?
So to your question, which you had earlier asked, which Rouse had answered, I wanted to just add on it. So all are trying, all MSOs, mid-size, big size, they want to do a combo offer. They want to give linear TV, they want to give internet, they want to give OTT all in one. But again, when we go to sell the content, say if someone wants to sell it like Airtel is doing or Jio is doing, The price which was 1400 last year, it has come to 1000, it has come to 900. One of my friend, he started a new gimmick. He said unlimited television in any house, bigger house. He can show 4 TVs, any number of connections in a house. He can have unlimited bandwidth. He can have unlimited OTT, whatever he wants. And he came with a rate of 1000 rupees. So if in Bombay someone is having a big flat, he has 6-7 TVs. He might give 500 or 600 per television to Tata Sky or Airtel. But if he's going to a normal mid-size MSO, then he gets it for as good as 150 rupees. And that too all HD content and with unlimited internet and OTT also. So, but our challenge is selling it. Like a MSO was never that good in marketing because his expertise was he was sitting in a home giving service. Going and getting that from the customer is still a challenge. But this is the only way where getting a combo, getting a proper combination of content, OTT and internet and selling. That's the only way the MSOs can survive. And also one more question, what is going towards, like you said, all MSOs are coming together, are the smaller MSOs are coming together and forming a single portion. I think the future what we see, we might see 2 or 3 players only in next 2 or 3 years.
Yes, and
so
that will
road
drive success for the ecosystem because currently if there are so many players.
I think the nature will make us do even if we don't want to do. All are moving towards that one.
Because the other part is consolidated. So if you look at DTH, it is already consolidated. It is the MSO and the LCO which is very, very fragmented. So if you all come together, I think there's a way to arrest the subscriber decline because you're going to become larger than
future
entity.
looks that way.
Karan, you said about the piracy. I think so the government came with last year Piracy Act where in July somewhere where the imprisonment will be there for 3 months and 5% of the amount has to be paid for the production cost of the content, which has been done piracy. But then too, I feel the piracy will happen. If you take the biggest economy of the world, which is US, they have 9 million people who are doing piracy, about $30 billion worth of amount it is. So it's a huge piracy. In Russia, 90% people are doing piracy. China, 90% videos are seen on piracy. So piracy cannot be stopped, but maybe it can be done through the content provider where he can make it available of the content in such a way that the piracy doesn't happen. And like we have a cyber cell, maybe a piracy cell can be created. So a person caught will be punished on the spot. I don't think in India anybody got sentenced on the piracy.
Exactly, there are not enough strict
Not
laws.
a single person has been sentenced. So the FIR has been filed, but nothing happens about it. So the piracy will continue.
Right. So basically bundling, packaging, coming together, consolidation, price sensitive, making it more affordable for the customer. What's your take on this here?
Okay. But before that, regarding piracy, one point I have to mention here. For curbing this piracy, I think some coordination between ISP and this content provider, streaming platforms is urgently needed. Because on ISP can help streaming platforms in case of this data security, especially IP related things. Because now, if we can monitor the IP movement properly, we can see where the this content unauthorized access is happening. We can easily detect. Because with the help of an ISP, we can easily monitor the IP thing. That one point regarding the piracy. But regarding the bundling, our Kerala Vision objective and strategy is to become a multi-service provider. That is our strategy. Because our customer should not go for any other provider for any service. That may be e-commerce, that may be e-health, whatever may be, e-education. Every service should be provided by our company. That is our objective because customer is the king. Customer is the asset of any ISP or MSO. So we have to monetize our customer base effectively with the support of all stakeholders. That may be OTT platforms, broadcasters, or any other providers. we work as a team and monetize the customer very effectively. That is my opinion about this bundling thing. Okay, thank you.
Great. So I think bundling is the way ahead indeed, and consolidation, which will be a benefit, to the platforms or the distributors to scale up, and a benefit for the customer because they can get that content at a better price. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, all of you, for having the wonderful chit-chat and session. I was so engrossed once again in the discussion. It was very interactive. May I please request Karan to kindly felicitate all our speakers for the day, starting with Mr. N.K. Rouse. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for all our esteemed speakers for the day. They have shared their knowledge, their expertise, and we have filtered our learning process with that. Thank you so much, Mr. Rouse, for being here. Now we'll move on to felicitate Mr. Nagesh Chhabria, who is a promoter, MetroCast Network India. We are really glad to have you here, sir. Thank you so much for joining us today. After this, we'll move on to felicitate Mr. Atul Saraf, Chairman and Managing Director, Sabut One Private Limited. Thank you so much, sir, for joining in and sharing wonderful insights with us. It was really thoughtful for all of us to listen to you and gaining so many things from you. Thank you once again. Now to Mr. Saurya Mohanty, Chief Operating Officer, Epic On and StreamSense. Thank you so much, Saurya, for being with us today at the event. May I request all of you to kindly give them a huge round of applause, and applause should continue till the time our speakers are there. Now we'll continue with the felicitation process of Mr. Padma Kumar N, Chief Operating Officer, KCCL and KVBL. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us today. And now I would like to take the honor to felicitate Mr. Karan Taurani, who's the session chair, of course, with us.